example of leadership, I mean, your professor, your teacher, your high school teacher, somebody in your family, could be your father or somebody in your family affected you to think about research and so on. So that's what you need to write in your personal. Don't write personal. Some people write personal, like really personal. No. Personal associated with research. It's what I mean. What excited you about research? Right?
I found my father's quantum physics book when I was in the second grade. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Your science, usually a lot of those will be your science teacher. Somehow got your attention on something and stuck with your mind, and so on. Here, can you see this? Because now in your mind you should ask, where should I put the broader impacts or those things, those 10 points, wherever, whenever, or wherever you can. So here is, they give you a tip here, typically focus on broader impacts criteria, right? In this personal thing, you can talk about your leadership quality, your reaching out, your volunteer work. That's part of, this 10 points, you can put 2 or 3 here, right?
Magda, one thing, you can talk about personal stuff also with respect to broader impact. For instance, if you come from a rural school where there was no math club and you suffered from it and you want to give back now and form math clubs in as many rural schools as you can, and you have done it, that's the place to go.
Yeah, but that's still...
It's not research, but it's broader impact.
Yeah, but it's still personal, scientific.
Yeah.
It shows your motivation.
Yeah, it's a motivation really. And but I read a personal statement of somebody started with, me and my girlfriend were sitting on the Valentine's Day, and I said, no, I'm not reading this one. I just like, what is this? So it's not about you. That's what I'm saying. It's not that personal. It is that person, the motivation in your personality and so on.
Don't make the mistake. The ones I read that are always out, they don't have broader impacts, is when they fill the personal statement with all about the research experience. Say, oh yeah, I mean, the RU you mentioned, if you do it in the right way, but if you just talk about, oh, I did all this research, I went here this summer, got to do great research, got a paper out of it, I go, yeah, this is important, but that's not what I want to see in the personal statement. You've got, when she flips the thing here, you'll see where that goes. So if you put it there, that just tells me you don't have any broader impacts, or you didn't pay attention to it. And again, that makes it easy. I'm reading a whole bunch of things. I just know, yeah, that one, I'll give you good scores on the research, because I don't care at this point. You're not getting the award without 2 good scores.
That's exactly right.
And you have to remember that the reviewers are reading 100 of these. And we're not very smart always. We're looking for something to put in that box that says broader impact. So don't make us go all over your application trying to find something to put there. Put it here. Put it in the personal essay. It's your best shot at putting it somewhere. You can sprinkle them some other places, but make it easy for us to say, oh yeah, this is broader impact. Good. Write something in the box, give them a good score.
Yes, we have to fill this.
You got to fill out the box.
And this year they asked NSF asked us, don't fill it one line or one word, good, bad. No. I think this year they asked us to at least 400 words, right?
And the computer counted the words.
They counted the words, and they don't accept it from us. So the panel chair will come to us, Magda, fairy, it's not good. So help the reviewer, because remember, we read hundreds of those, it's just too tiring, right? So don't make us look for them, put it in front of us. Okay, so the personal statement, now here is a research experience, and the personal statement has to be different from the research experience. This is really where you did your research as undergrad, in the department, or somewhere else in the college. That's you were part of some research group, and you did something there. Again, either they paid you or they did not pay you. But don't bring a project from a class and make it your previous research, because it's not. The class, we immediately see in class, blah, blah, blah. That's a class, the end of story. So this is a research experience, applicable experience relevant to research. Research, you can see, key questions, methodology, finding. So you did some research opportunity with some big group. Whatever you learned, I want to see it here. I don't want to see what that big professor, the very famous professor, did. I want to see what you learned. That's your writing here. Mention all publication, posters, MC, publication, posters, presentation, awards, recognition. Whenever you can, don't repeat. You will see that you don't have much space. So put some here, some there, but anything scientifically, try to put it here. So
On this one, though, I would say you better give the reference. Sometimes I just skim these things, and you may have it sort of embedded in, and I just say, oh, no papers. I want to see in this section at the end, every reference, and then then as I read it, or sometimes they'll put it at the end, like, okay, here's my summer of 2009. And then at the end of that paragraph, you'll say, and this is the publication that came out of it. It might be a poster, might be a presentation, might be a journal paper. And if you can talk about how independent your work was, I wrote this paper, or, in this one, they used my data. Okay, that's good. That's a good start. And then the next year, maybe you have something else. But, I'm looking pretty quickly, and if I see no bibliography of any kind, I assume, well, you have nothing. And at worst, what happened was you just didn't present it very well. You didn't catch my eye. And that'd be important to say, if it's not there, I think you've blown it. I think you want to make sure it's there. And it will cost, because it takes, to have the few lines of that bibliography material. But, I want to see that you can say everything in a short amount. I'm not looking to read hundreds of pages. I just want to get a quick feel that, yeah, you've got great experience.
And we read this direction, we want to go back. We don't have time to go back and where is his or her paper? I want to go back. Because once I'm slow, the chair of the panel will come like that, speed up. Because we have to finish those hundreds of applications in 3 days. So you won't stay 4 days because I have to read somebody's one. So keep this in mind when you put your application. You have to do it fast. So, okay, now the proposed research. We don't expect you to know the research, especially if you are undergraduate. But we expect you to, introduce, you have a research topic, introduction about what is the problem, what's the current problem in this topic, what's the literature review. That's very important. If you don't do literature review, it means that that's kind of basic research ability. Literature review, you have to put it there. How you have prepared. I'm interested in these topics. I will take these courses. I will take lab training and that blah blah blah. So that's a plan. We need to see this plan. So we need to see also a new topic. You don't go and pick up very old topic because remember, by the time you graduate, 5 years from now, that research should be top-notch research. It's a cutting-edge research. So pick up a topic. We'll get excited about a new topic. Not one of those old ones. Perceive the scope of work during graduate study and beyond. So what are you expecting? I'm going to MIT, in that lab I will do this and this. And you must have a knowledge about what you're going to do. That's what we would like to see. Detail the plan, but avoiding if you do overly detail, that's not your work. How did you know all those details? But the outlines has to be there. Demonstrate research's broader impact. What is this? How this research will affect anybody? Can you see after the research? You have to see what is research is all about, right? So that's another tip from NSF to put the broader impacts here. Okay. Now this is a cycle. This is basically they tell you start thinking. Discuss it with your mentor. Don't just go and write your thing. Mentors, your people in your family, and so on. And construction, and put it together, and then keep iteratively, right? So this means to you what? You have to start early. That's not 1 week before the deadline. You have to start early to do this process over and over again until it is done. And then you can create your final. Anything?
I think there's just a few more, and then we can take that.
Okay. All right. So constructing a successful application. Choose 3 appropriate reference. Now, back to the reference letters, very important issue. I start reading the reference letter. I don't want to start reading your personal statement, all those things. I start from backward. And I heard some people from my panel, they do the